In this video I want to talk to you about a program called Kidsrock and why I wish I had discovered it earlier. It's not a program I've built, it's not one I have any ownership in, I'm not an affiliate for it or anything like that. I do know the owner who's created it, Dave, he's a great guy, but I get sent a lot of stuff because of, I guess, my the following that I have in this industry. I get sent a lot of stuff, people saying, can you review this, can you feature this on the vlog, and I don't know if I've ever done that for a software or a program, but this is one I look at and go, yeah, this is really good. Like, I wish I had used this. And so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about it and why I wished I'd used it. Basically what Kidsrock does is it's a program that allows really young kids to get into playing in a band really early on. Now we know that that's really hard, right? When you're trying to teach real instruments like keyboard, piano, guitar, drums, and trying to get a kid who's starting out from scratch to be able to play in a band, that usually comes years later once they've got their rhythm, they can play in time with other musicians, and they've got some basic chords down and all that sort of stuff. Now Kidsrock, they've kind of solved that problem to allow kids to fast track being able to play in these little rock bands. And sure, it doesn't sound perfect, but it still sounds pretty good, and the kids just absolutely love it. And I'm going to tell you like 5 reasons why I wished I had used it, and you can grab a link down below to Kidsrock and check it out fully. But here's 5 reasons why I think Kidsrock is worth mentioning. Number 1 is that we waited for those young kids to get into bands until they were good enough, and that can take years, right? Obviously, many people learn to play an instrument because they want to play in a band, right? I wanted to play in a band. I looked at all the drummers playing bands, thought they were cool. I wanted to do that, so I started lessons. But it wasn't for years till I got to play in an actual band. And so this, with Kidsrock, this unlocks that pretty much straight away, which is really crazy. And so once you click through and have a look and see how it works, you'll go, oh, okay, that's how they do it. And they do some really cool things with some colours and with some guitar necks and keyboards and all this stuff. I won't get into the how they do it. You need to check it out. But this is kind of like why I wish I had connected with it. So number 1 is like we waited years to get the kids into the program, but they wanted to play in bands, and so this would have fast-tracked the opportunity for kids to play in bands. Number 2 is that most programs that we built at our music school, we spent thousands, sometimes $10,000 to build ourselves. We're talking books, video programs. We built stuff that just took countless hours of like sitting down in meetings and mapping out and going back and forth for revisions, and then putting it into the classroom and testing it and filming it and revising it. It just took hundreds and hundreds of hours to get the great programs that we have. Now, by the way, you can get all those programs in our Build a Music School program. Grab a free trial, and they're all laid out there for you, so you don't have to spend tens of thousands. But Kidsrock is not one of those programs you get for free. This one does cost some money, but worth every penny. And so we would build all these programs, and it costs a lot of money and a lot of time. But if we found a program that actually solved this problem, and it solved it, quickly, we could implement it and get results within a month or something like that. I mean, when you add up the amount of time and hours you spend, it's sometimes just way better to actually just invest in someone that's going to fast track that problem for you. And I think for this particular issue, young kids getting to play and enjoy music in small groups, playing different instruments in a band, in a rock band, like that is a problem worth solving and paying for. So that would be number 2. Number 3 is that we would have left so much money on the table when we think about the amount of kids that were in lessons, and they were already in like group lessons. So yeah, we've maximized that side of the business, and we had all sorts of other upsells, but we couldn't get them into bands because of the way that we ran things until they were ready to be in bands. Whereas there would have been, even if we said 20% of students who are in lessons who would also want to upsell and join a band, it probably would have been more like 40-50%. But imagine how much more money we would have earned if we were able to offer that program and get all those kids in. So I look at that, and some of the things I'm like, I just kicked myself. We could have, it could have made a lot more money, not just money, but created lots more cool jobs for people, like lots more hours doing what they love, providing a variation in their job from not just teaching one-on-one or groups, but now they get to teach that and run bands, so it makes their job more fun as well. So that would be number 3. Definitely left a lot of money on the table by not doing this. Number 4 is that we would have got way more footage of young people playing in these little groups that we could use for marketing. And so that's one of the great things that you want to do. You want to get great behind the scenes footage, get stories, testimonials. You use those stories to leverage to get into your marketing, to get more stories and students in, and it's just that whole cycle. We call it the circle of cash. And so that is something that I wish I would have had way more footage of kids doing that, because that leads me to number 5. We were already probably, we were the best in our area for what we did in terms of cool opportunities musically for young people, but none of our competitors did anything like this. And so this would have just shot us to a whole new level in our community. And so maybe if you look in your community and you look at who are the competitors, even if you're just a piano teacher and you're like, well, who are all the other piano teachers? Chances are they're just offering piano lessons, and maybe they also add some concerts, maybe some workshops or something like that. But imagine if you could even just be the piano teacher who offered, piano lessons plus, rock band, and piano students got to play in a little rock band. So we would have been able to really take that, that sort of preschool 4 to 7 year old age group just to a whole new level, and really just being kind of seen as on a whole new level. So that would have been really cool. So that's 5 reasons why I wish I knew about KIDZROCK earlier. So for you, I'm telling you about KIDZROCK now. So whether you've got 30 students, 100 or 1,000 students, check it out. There's a link down below, and have a look and see whether it might be worth you looking into. And remember, with anything that costs a bit of money, it's about looking at what the return is on that investment. So don't see it as a cost, see it as an investment. Run the maths seriously. One of the things I was really impressed with KIDZROCK is they have a whole implementation and sort of development program for people when they're onboarded. So it's not just, hey, here's all the stuff, figure it out. Dave and the team, they'll actually work with you to get it implemented into your school, so you can be earning the money as fast as possible and getting the students booked in, so that you just don't even think about the money anymore. So don't write it off because it's not free. Don't be a stingy musician. Those people don't go far. Don't be one of them. So there we go. KIDZROCK, check it out. I think it's really awesome. And again, I'm not an affiliate, I'm not an owner or anything. Dave's a great guy, but if his product was crap, I wouldn't promote it. But I think it's a great product. I think you should check it out. And link is down below. Go have a look.